Obviously, great opportunity here to start SEC play. Alabama played really well against Kentucky. They're long, they're athletic, they're big at every position, from point guard with Kyra Lewis, with Petty and Ingram at the two, and then Mack and Herb Jones at the threes and fours, and then they bring in Riley Norris, and they've just got a ton of guys. They got a kid, Giddens, who started against us here last year, who has played some spot minutes for them this year. Is like their 10th or 11th guy. So it'd be a big challenge for us. Donta Hall does a phenomenal job protecting the rim, playing behind the defense, and getting high percentage shots. Elite defensive team because they can switch so well and put big bodies on you. And so we're going to need to do a good job keeping them off the glass, which is obviously been an area where we've been up and down this year, to put it nicely. And we need to do a good job keeping them off the glass. They're very good in transition. We're gonna have to keep them out of transition and try to guard them as best we can in the half court. But they've got a very good team, very athletic, very long, and very well coached by Coach Johnson.
You have a little better personnel to match up with them?
Last year they took the ball out of Tremont's hands. They committed two guys to him a majority of the time, and then tried to have some other guys, force some other guys to beat him. And certainly I think this year we're hopefully better equipped for that. And we're going to have to finish in the paint. We get to the paint a lot. We shoot a high percentage in the paint, but be different animal finishing against these guys. So we need to be be able to finish strong down low.
In this time off between non-conference, what you do, things you have to clean up that you got in?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time working on cleaning up our offense, cleaning up our screening angles, how we set things up. And then we spent a lot of time working on our transition defense, because I think that's critical when you get into league. Really every day we worked on cleaning up our offense with our screening, worked on our ball screen defense. We did rebounding drills every day, and then tried to clean up our transition defense. So we spent a majority of our time in those four areas.
When you have a matchup like this where they're bigger than you in positions, what's your game plan normally? You say, all right, I'm going to try to take advantage of what we can do, or I'm more concerned about stopping what they can do?
Well, I think, what they do is they've got just a ton of long athletic bodies, and they're able to try guys out in the first half and see who's playing well, and whoever's playing well gets the majority of the minutes in the second half. And so they just have, it's not one of those deals, if you, and I didn't even mention Alex Reese, and he's the one who killed us last year. He had a couple threes and a couple mid-range shots. He's one of those guys they throw in there. They got Galen Smith, who's maybe their best low-post scorer. They just try a bunch of different guys, and then they see who's playing well that day and who's ready to go that day, and then he sticks with them. Because he's got, his son plays some point guard for him. They've got 10 or 11 guys that they throw in there and try. And so it's really just a matter of kind of getting a feel for who they're going to go with that day, and then trying to make them react to us as best we can. But that's easier said than done, because they're just so long, they're so athletic, they can run so many different bodies at you. It makes it a challenge.
So as conference play starts and Alabama was able to upset Kentucky, is there an opening in the conference to be taken from the SEC for LSU?
Well, we'll see. You got to win games, and we certainly got to win our home games. That's the most important part. Is I thought Alabama did a great job protecting their home court. They had a great crowd in there, raucous atmosphere, and they did a great job protecting their home court against Kentucky. So that's the number one thing. Last year we got off to a slow start at home in league play, and so we need to protect our home court, and you got to dig out what you can on the road. But we need to do a good job of setting the tone, and any team that's going to compete in any league, and especially the SEC, has to be very, very good at home and be a very, very tough out at home. And so I think that's the number one thing. Is we've got a great opportunity against a good Alabama team coming off a really good win, and we need to set the tone with how we're going to play at home, and try to get off to a great start at home.
What was different about your team last year playing at home, winning streak?
I thought we just a little bit more focused. We were able to sustain our focus a little bit better, and we changed up some things, and we've obviously continued that through this season.
Coach, against a team that's this long and athletic, how important are guys like Nas and Bill to be able to kind of convert them off the
Important, that's, we're just, last year we had some 6'4" guys out there guarding 6'10" guys, and so this year we'll have 6'10" guys guarding 6'10" guys. So that gives you a little bit of a help. But then you gotta play well and do the right things when you're out there. Just because you're as tall or that it doesn't mean anything if you're not doing what you're supposed to do and executing how you're supposed to execute. So I think hopefully with Cavell, who's 6'11" and long and athletic, and Nas, and then we're going to be bigger at the three with Marlon and Days, and we got Emmett in there who plays a little bit bigger than he is. So we've got some guys that can hopefully get in there and bang around a little bit better than we did last season.
You talked a little about Tremont. What do you think was kind of his problem earlier in the season, and how do you think he's kind of responded a little differently?
Yeah, I think it's just adjustment. Adjustment for all of us, for me as well. I think it was just an adjustment for him of, being around a bunch of new guys. At the end of the day, we are still, we got an 8-man, we've got an 8-man rotation basically, basically now, and we're playing 6 guys who didn't play together at all last year. A couple junior college kid and Marlon, a transfer, and then 4 freshmen. So it's not. Skylar and Trey are the only 2 that played together. And we tried to play some pickup and do some different things to hopefully accelerate the growth process, but it just has to happen. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think Tremont's gotten a much better feel for where he fits in and how all the pieces work together. And I think that comfort level's allowed him to play better, and I think he'll continue to play well as we head into the SEC.
I think his game is kind of slowed down. I think it's kind of slowed down now that he's come off of a situation of not starting.
No, I think he was able to see some things, and he's a smart kid. He sees a lot of things on the court, and I think game's always pretty slow for him. He sees things. He sees things pretty well.
Coach, last week I think you said you're stepping up in weight class. That was kind of a message to the freshmen that haven't played this week before. That still kind of message in terms of the intensity.
Oh yeah, we're going to the middle class to the wealthy now. This is the real deal. So. We've got to step up our game as needed. So, but this is why they all came here. This is why we all came here. To compete against the best, play against the best, play in the SEC, and this is what we all signed up for. So, it's too late to cancel. So it's time to rock and roll, and they should be ready to go. But it is going to be some adjustment just to when you see it's one thing to talk about the length and the athleticism and how intense the games are. It's another thing to experience it. And so, we need to handle ourselves the right way and stay connected. And I think we're better equipped to handle it now than we were when we went to Orlando. And so hopefully that'll prove itself out as we get going here in SEC play.
Coach Anthony Johnson, I think, was 5-1 against LSU, and obviously coached against him last year. It means a lot to Patrick community obviously over at Southern. What's your relationship with him?
Great coach, great person. Does a really, really good job with their team and their personnel. He recruits long, athletic guys. And Kyra Lewis is just he's obviously Coach Johnson was a tremendous point guard, and to have Colin Sexton last year was a tremendous point guard. And then what they've done with Kyra Lewis, who's just a great player, kid that we know very well, and great family, great mother, great family. But Coach Johnson's done a good job, does a great job with those point guards and gets those guys ready to play. And so, they've got a very, very good team, and they've got a very, very good coaching staff, and they put them in good positions to win. So, be a big challenge for us.
Were you surprised when you got into college basketball?
No, he'd been on the AAU circuit with the Texas Titans for a while with his son, and was messing around with that, and so I wasn't totally surprised.
Anything else? You know if Tremont's going to be starting, or do you not know? You know if Tremont's going to start this week, or?
He started the last game.
I know. You wanted the SEC is going to be different, or?
We'll roll out a different starting lineup tomorrow night, but you have to show up to find out.
Did you watch any SEC games this weekend besides Alabama?
I was out recruiting. I watched Alabama on my phone while I was recruiting, but I was halfway watching them. And then, obviously, I rewatched it when I got back. And then I got home in time to watch the last 10 minutes of Florida and South Carolina. That's about all you need to watch. So that's pretty much the whole game. So I watched the end of that, and I got to see. I was watching this Kentucky-Alabama game on my phone, and then I got to rewatch it Sunday. But I saw those games, and I watched Vanderbilt and Ole Miss too. Oh, Daryl. No, he won't play tomorrow. So he's out for tomorrow. We're still waiting on the surgery. We're still trying to figure that out. So, but no, nothing really new with him.
Is Quick Change the best halftime show in the country?
What is Quick Change? What is it?
Change your halftime show tomorrow. People come out and
Halftime show tomorrow?
yeah.
Cool. Hopefully people like it. Is it good? Obviously it's good. It's pretty good. I'm kind of busy at halftime, Jacques. I don't know if you knew that. I'm a little busy.
Before the promotion to get people to come out, so I know you're a little busy at that.
I'm a little busy at the half, so I don't get to see that. But hopefully we'll have a good crowd tomorrow night. So.